What you need to know about no-fax payday loans. If you've ever suddenly had an emergency and needed quick cash, you probably remember the way you felt. Heart beating fast, breath short, eyes wide. In short, you are worried about where the money was going to come from. And not only that, if it was a big expense, probably worried about where your next meal was coming from. This is something that many of us, at one time or another, have had to face. Sure, there is always the option of doing the rounds of family and friends, trying to borrow the cash you need, but many feel embarrassed about doing this, and it can put a severe strain on the relationship, especially if the loan isn't paid back quickly. Of course, the other option available to you are no-fax payday loans. As with anything, however, there are some things you should know. First off, consider that while not having a fax requirement is a good thing and will speed the process along, there are other things you will need. There is an age requirement of 18 years, so if you're in a bind and underage, don't even think of applying. Consider too that these companies will want to see steady employment records. Don't bother trying to apply if you're currently between jobs or have been unemployed for some time. This, of course, should only be common sense, especially where no fax of payday loans are concerned. But there are always those that think they can fudge their way through things. Desperation can make some people do questionable things. A side note here is that no matter how desperate the situation may seem, it is never advisable to purposely fake an application or try to game the system. That is fraud and will land you in much worse situation than you are currently in. That said, what else do you need? For some places that offer no fax payday loans, they will want to be sure that you get direct deposit. Most people do these days, as well as when your paycheck schedule is. This will make setting up repayment terms and schedules easier for both you and them. Of course, the longer you've had your bank account, the better, although length of time is not a requirement. One final thing to think about, of course, is the fact that they will want you to have avoided post-dated check as part of the process. So a checkbook is a must when it comes up quickly getting no fax payday loans. Again, this is to make repayment easier for both you and them, in that you won't have to come in and do debit payments and then won't have to phone and remind you to do so. That said, you will need to keep track of things until the loans are paid off, as you won't want to incur NSF charges because you overdrew your bank account. Above all else, remember that if you come prepared, you should have no trouble getting no fax payday loans. Brought to you by www.usapayDayForever.com.